What's good, family? So mash the like button and subscribe. So, your main man's Frank, Finding Nemo, Warren, aka Frank Fish Eyes Warren, has responded to Eddie Hearns' allegations surrounding Wilder versus Scary 3. Now, let me give you man a rundown of the allegations Hearn made. Essentially, as we know, Tyson Scary has bottled it, the July 24th fight, and, in my opinion, has bottled the Deontay Wilder rematch. Full stop. That said, Eddie Hearn has alleged one of the key reasons was because they hadn't sold a lick of tickets. Now, Fish Eyes responded to that claim and said to follow him. Bob Arum has informed me that $14 million worth of tickets had been sold for the July 24th date in the T-Mobile Las Vegas Arena. That was without UK fans being allowed to travel over because of the current restrictions on getting into the US. So anyone claiming ticket sales is the reason is talking a load of nonsense. So that's what Fish Eyes says. However, the facts are, if any of you, man, I didn't unfortunately get time to do the video, but I checked. Guess what? These days, when you click on certain sites, I believe Ticketmaster is one, you're able to see the actual seat allocation. So seats which are taken, for example, there's 20,000 seats here. Seats which are taken are red. Seats which are available, obviously, so you can buy them and you can see where you're sitting, relatively speaking, are white. 75% was white. Now, I agree, I do have to admit, fight week, you were able to move a good volume, but in the main, you shouldn't have more than half. Think about it. When AJ versus Klitschko happened, let's not forget, Wilder versus Fury, let's not forget this, Wilder versus Fury is bigger than AJ versus Klitschko, is what they say, innit? Let's not forget that. Oh, Klitschko's old and whatever else. And AJ was in an 80,000 seat venue. They've only got to sell 20,000 seats. And my point is, guess what? When AJ fought Vlad in an 80k arena, the tickets, was there only 25% sold? 2 weeks before the fight, 6 weeks after the launch? No. The fight sold out within a week or something, or within a few days. It was 80-90% sold out, or 50, certainly more than 50% sold out in the first day. Bottom line. And this fight was little more than a week. It was a week today the fight was supposed to happen. What a shame. But anyway, it's done now. But yeah, the fight was due to happen 2 weeks from when Tyson Scary pulled out. So with 2 weeks to go, you hadn't made no dent. And let's not forget this. These big fights, yeah, or these relatively big fights, they're supposed to... Do you understand what I'm saying here? When Conor McTaper fights, people are begging to get tickets. Do you understand? That's how it's supposed to be, by the way. That's how it used to be. Circa AJ versus Klitschko. It's a perfect example. Or AJ versus Joseph Parker. These fights, these blockbuster fights, are supposed to sell out. You know what I'm saying? They're meant to be hard to get tickets. People are supposed to be bidding the price up. Ticket touts and whatnot. That's what's supposed to happen. Unfortunately, never mind ticket touts, they couldn't move to standard tickets. Do you understand? So really, I do believe that is potentially a big factor. And the way they've pushed it back to October tells me that they're probably looking for maximum regulations to let up. Because Fish Eyes and these MTK goofies, they're never that smart. They always kind of, to some extent, let slip and admit what's really going on in their mind. So when we hear Fish Eyes Warren's submission of what's really been going on behind closed doors, that 40 million number, he may as well have made it 14 billion. Because, and we all saw the tickets, or I saw the tickets, and it weren't 40 million. You hadn't sold 40 million worth of gate, because that would imply your total gate in a full capacity venue would have been like 60 million, which you ain't doing. Not even a bit of you doing that. But the Fat Fish Eyes has said that, oh, well, that was without UK fans, tells me that that was clearly on their mind. That, wait there a minute, can we really go ahead on July 24th without any UK fans? Which, in my opinion, is an admission of guilt. They're basically admitting that, no, we didn't want to go ahead with the fight because, number one, we ain't sold maximum amount of tickets because the UK fans can't come. And number two, obviously, which is what we're speculating, is that bottom line, UK fans or not, you haven't sold no tickets. Because in my opinion, the UK fans are only relevant if you ain't got blockbuster sales anyway, if that makes sense. For example, McTapper versus Prober. McTapper versus Poirier, yeah? Guess what? They couldn't have no UK fans either because they've just fought in July 10th. But because it's a blockbuster US event, they don't need UK fans. You only have to worry about UK fans if you haven't already sold out to your rest of world and US base anyway, which, as the tickets showed, was the case. They'd only sold 25%. Let me tell you, man, one more time. These events are supposed to be blockbuster. They're supposed to be people queuing up and people jamming the system, jamming the Ticketmaster up. It's supposed to be limited amount of tickets. Oh, you can only buy 2 tickets per person or whatever. That's how it's supposed to be. These dons, never mind restrictions, never mind Ticketmaster.com lagging, they had 5 weeks, 6 weeks of uptime and only managed to sell 25%. So that's why they're worrying about US fans. And like I said, do you think it's a coincidence that we didn't hear Dana White saying, well, we've had to postpone or we need the UK fans? No, because his people want to see that fight. And that's what it comes down to here. People, and I hate to break it to you, man, but I even said that people don't want to see this fight, and they don't. And what worries me is the most is that the fact that I said to you, man, number one, people don't want to see this fight. However, the people who do want to see it, guess what? They want to see it on July 24th. That's the honest truth. The honest truth was, I told you, man, that number one, people don't care about this fight. But number two, if they do care about it, it's because it's close. Now it's October 8th, yeah. If you struggle to sell tickets for July 24th, I don't know what you think you can do in October 8th. I really don't. I don't know what you think you can do in October 8th. Especially after you've mugged off them fans on the July date. People have already taken time off, and I don't know, maybe, I guess, I'm not sure the average, or I'm not sure the masses, but whoever's booked to go on July 8th, are you really going to, I don't know, are you going to cancel that, or what? I just don't know. You're going to cancel that and then book it in for October, and let's not forget, that's another 4 months. People who are planning on having a break in July, are you really going to put it off for 3 months? On the whim that you may, I'm saying, you never know. Oh yeah, I'm going to put my holiday off 3.5 months on a whim. You don't even know you're going to get to go on holiday then. So listen, this is all speculation, but end of the day, you didn't sell no tickets. Regardless of anything, the facts are, and this proves it, the fact you was worrying about UK fans tells us you ain't sold out. Because you shouldn't be, for that kind of fight, yeah, for Wilder versus Fury, you shouldn't be worrying about, well, if Wilder and Fury are as big as you allege them to be, you shouldn't be worrying about. If Wilder and Fury are 50-50 AJ fights, as in 50-50, if Wilder and Fury are 50-50 split with AJ, because AJ weren't fighting one of you, man. AJ's sold out 80,000 with Parker. Sold out 80,000 with Klitschko. And these mans ain't on your level. So I'm thinking to myself, if AJ's selling out them kind of arenas with people lesser than Wilder and Fury, how are you, man, struggling? You two are basically you two are 2 of the top 3. AJ was fighting essentially people in top 5. And was shutting down 80,000 fans. And actually, when you look at ticket prices, AJ selling 80,000 tickets, yeah, no joke. His lowest price was higher than Tyson Gary's and Wilder's lowest price. So AJ's legitimately selling 4 times as many tickets and selling out as well, shutting it down. You mans have got a quarter of the volume, lower prices, and you're not even a bit selling out. You're trying to work out dates so you can beg some more fans to come over. It's bad. Super bad. But that really, like I said, this for me was a slip. Yeah, this was a high IQ slip. Most man won't get this. Most YouTube channels, they'll just read out what they've read. But the YBs just broke it down to you, man. The proof that this is the reason, or one of the reasons the fight didn't happen. Because they was thirsty for ticket sales, and they couldn't achieve ticket sales. Let's not forget, the US here has a population of 330 million. That's another factor I didn't tell you, man, about. The US has a population of 330 million. The UK is like 70 million. The UK is a quarter. AJ's selling 80,000 tickets with higher prices in a country with a population a quarter of the size. Let me transfer it into the Wilder vs. Fury is in a country with 4 times the population. So it should be really 4 times as easy to sell tickets. Especially in Vegas. Like, when AJ fights in London, London isn't it's the capital, but Vegas is an events place kind of thing. People will just buy tickets, not because they like boxing, but because, well, it's in Vegas, and we're in Vegas. Something to do on that night, if that makes sense, on a Saturday night. So you have loads more natural demand. People in London aren't all there to party. People in Vegas all party, all events, all entertainment. So you get a lot more natural demand. Despite the natural demand, despite the entertainment centre of the world, you're still slacking. You're still only 25% capacity. Wow. It's super bad for Wilder and Fury right now. And like I told you, man, what worries me is that if you think it's going to be better in October, you got another thing coming. Because people like me, the only thing that made this fight attractive was, at least we're getting it quickly. This ain't even a bit quick. And this kind of feeds into what I was telling you, man, about. I believe Tyson Fury is going to drop the long C19. Oh, I've had a relapse. I've got the long C19 because what happens in October when they don't sell many tickets? And let's not forget, this is exactly the same playbook they've already tried. YB, what do you mean the same playbook? What do we know? This time last year, what was Tyson Fury's team saying? No fans, we can't do it. That's what he said 100%. Fish Eyes Warren came out on Good Morning Britain and said, we can't fight Wilder because there's no fans. They've been using this one for 18 months now. And 2-2s. July 24th comes along. What's the reason? There's no fans. They're not getting this. The thing. What worries me, like I said, what worries me the most is the fact that they seem to think it's to do with regulations. Clearly they do. These people aren't very intelligent. Not to big myself up, but they're really bottom of the barrel dons. Because for 18 months now, Team Fury have been putting it off on the basis, there's no fans. What they don't realise is, it's got nothing to do with there's no fans. People don't want to see the fight. Do you understand? Because guess what? As I've explained, Muktapa versus Poirier, which in my opinion isn't really as big as Wilder versus Fury, in as much as Poirier isn't a name like Wilder and Fury are. Yeah? End of the day, he's not. Poirier isn't one of them ones in his own right. I'd consider Wilder and Fury, if that makes sense, in their own right. Poirier's known because of Muktapa. Wilder and Fury are kind of in their own right. So you've got two in their own right. For example, I'd say McGregor versus, who would it be? McGregor versus GSP. Or McGregor versus Habib. That's the equivalent. Two known people in their own right. That's Wilder and Fury. McGregor versus Poirier. They're selling tickets. UFC's been selling tickets. AJ pay-per-view. Doing similar numbers. So the point is here is that people are going to sporting events. So the fact you cancelled July 24th because there's the fans and whatever else. What? You're not getting this. People just don't want to see it. You think it's because of regulations. No, people don't want to see it. Because the whole regulation thing's BS. Like I said, people in the UK can fly out. You can fly out for July 24th if you've had all your tests and whatnot done. And your cabal shots. If you've allowed the cabal to shoot you up in your booty, you're allowed to fly, 100%. That's the regulation for July 24th. Because people in my family go on holiday on exactly the same date. So, if people wanted to go and see it, they would. Which makes me feel sorry for Fish Eyes Warren, because he thinks it's all because of the regulations and it's because of C19. Nothing to do with that. People don't want to see this dead fight. That's the bottom line here. Because the only reason I was going to watch it was because it was close and because I ain't going to pay for it anyway, truth be known. Although, to be fair, I probably would pay for it. Probably would. In principle, I probably would pay for it. It's alright, it's alright, but that's because I'm a hardcore fan. This hasn't got... The casuals ain't rock hard for this. This kind of rematch needed to happen this time last year. Within 6 months after the loss. When you start dragging out going on 2 years, people forget all the story. They forget what really happened. They ain't interested. They get tired. And whatever else. People realise Wilder ain't no good. But now, the way that Fury's so scary, he's kind of lost that shine. Because you man heard my videos. I was going in on Wilder. Now, that's gone. How can you say anything about Wilder now? Say what about him? Oh, come on, YB, mate. Yeah, come on. Oh, I had some next goofy in my comments. Oh, YB, mate. You know, I think you've dropped the ball, mate. YB, mate. You've dropped the ball on Wilder, mate. Drop the ball? There ain't no ball on Wilder. The balls are all in Fury's court. How can anyone slag Wilder off right now? No matter what he's done, there's a thing called chronological order. I don't care what Wilder's done. Fury has made the biggest bottle case in history. Because if you man, all you goofies telling me to stay on Wilder's neck, yeah, guess what? Why couldn't your man's Fury stay on Wilder's neck? Why do I have to do it for? And that's the thing. That's my principle. I'm happy to jump on people's necks, yeah, if the fighters are willing to do it themselves. But don't be saying, oh, you need to stay on necks, when your man's Fury didn't want to stay on necks. He could have jumped in there, innit? Think about it. If Wilder is as soft and as moist as everyone's been saying he is, myself included, hence why I've done a 180 change, 180 flip. I'm now a Wilder supporter, relatively to Fury. In my mind, it was always AJ, Fury, Wilder. Now it's flipped. It's AJ, Wilder, Fury. Fury's a bottom, no doubt. Because if Wilder was all the things we've been saying, why is your man Fury bottling it? Now, there has been a bit of talk, oh, but YB, you know, maybe it's a joint thing, which, to be fair, I do give a bit of weight, in as much as I haven't heard much from Wilder. Why hasn't Wilder been out there airing Fury out? That's what I'll be doing. He's kind of been a bit passive. But then I asked myself, well, if Wilder was happy with it, if this is all just a big thing, why would Fury agree to that? Why would Fury agree to be the scapegoat? Or why would Fury agree to take the fall, if that makes sense? Why wouldn't they find some agreed thing, like they could have just pulled the fight. Say, yeah, whatever, we're rescheduling because of unforeseen business problems or whatever. We couldn't get the deal done. I don't know, you know what I mean? Something. Why would Fury agree to take it all on his shoulders? But again, like I said, that tells me that it wasn't an agreement. Because why would Fury in his right mind agree to take the whole rap himself? Don't make no sense. Unless Fury is just dopey and he did agree. Because Wilder is hella silent. And the numbers not selling. That would explain why Wilder's so happy to think, you know what, yeah, let's do it. But maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe Wilder is happy that it's on October 8th. Because their numbers were crap. But it was Fury genuinely bottling it. If you know what I'm saying. Fury genuinely bottled it, but Wilder ain't complaining because he's seen the numbers and thought, well, the numbers are crap anyway. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk when you know what I'm saying? Ideally, I'd rather bring some more fans in. But for me, good luck bringing more fans in. I don't know what planet you're on, but I ain't seen it myself. This magical October 8th. If you can't sell tickets on July 24th, I don't know what you think so magical about October 8th. Not even a little bit. Anyway, let's move on because before I go, I want to wrap up one other thing. There's another quote here from Warren. Warren says, contrary to speculation, there was no issue getting a UK broadcaster. That was set to be made official until we found out the fight had to be delayed. Fury against Wilder has to happen next. That is what the US judge said, and it will. We just have to wait a little longer, and the heavyweight division remains clogged up at the top. Remains clogged up at the top. What's this muppet talking about? It remains clogged up because of Tyson Scary, who for the last year has been putting off the rematch. That's the truth. That's not even the truth. That's just what it is.